I'm going to attempt to record my video podcast live, and I'm going to take you with me in this journey. It may turn out to be a success or a complete shit show. Oh boy, I should exit this.
We can hear ourselves during the countdown.
Oh, there's somebody watching. Somebody watching on the... Stop it!
Whoa, hey!
Hey there!
Thanks for having me.
So you're not coming in just yet. I'll let you know. I'll bring you in.
Okay.
But we're going to do it together. The solution that I'll be using to record my video podcast live is ECAMM Live. I've been using ECAMM Live to go live on our YouTube channel. Pod sounds cool, but this time I'm going to record an episode for my video podcast Content Jefe, going live on the Content Jefe channel. And here's a disclaimer. I'm going to be doing this for the first time here with you. I don't know how things are going to turn out, but I'm very confident that we are going to be able to go live and we're going to be very happy with the results. But before we get into pressing buttons and all that, let me talk about the 3 ways that you can record your video podcast if you are new to podcasting. The first way that you can record your video podcast is to pre-record your episodes in your studio. And then when you are done recording, then you send those files to your editor, or you may sit down and edit the episode yourself. The other way that you can record your video podcast will be going live directly on YouTube. You just log into your YouTube account and then you press the button go live. There are 3 options there. One is to upload your content and the other one is to go live on the platform. But that one is just not as fun. We're going to spice things up a little bit by using a live stream solution like ECAMM Live. What I like about ECAMM Live is that you can build a whole experience for your live stream there on ECAMM Live. You can add videos, different overlays, so you take your audience through a journey from the beginning to the end. I'm going to be touching only the surface of what you can do with ECAMM Live, but I'm super excited to share this with you. If this is something that you want to do, if you want to record your podcast live, let me tell you, going live to our YouTube channel by myself, because I'm doing it alone, has been a really, really cool experience for me. I feel more connected to my audience. I get that real-time feedback from people watching. I get questions and I get to really into the minds of my audience, so I can make more content that they like instead of creating content in the dark. They're there asking me the questions, and I've been making it a point to go live to really connect with my audience and to make content that connects with my people out there, because that's why we do what we do. So I'm very excited about that. So I talked to you about ECAMM Live. We are going to get into it in a minute, and we're going to be playing with it and adding all sorts of fun things and actually going live into the Content Jefe YouTube channel. But
you like to push buttons.
I like to push buttons. I do.
But you're pushing my buttons.
Now let's talk about the equipment I'm using here for this live stream. Let's talk about the camera first. The camera that I'm using is the Sony ZV-E10. And right now it has a 16mm Sigma lens. And that camera is connected to my Mac Mini using the Elgato 4K Cam Link. And that camera is serving as a webcam for my live stream, and it's also recording the video for this video that I'm recording for you. So that's pretty cool. And then my screen is being recorded right now using Descript AI. So a little bit of a complicated setup, but you are not going to need to record your screen because you're just going to use ECAMM Live. Now the audio I'm recording using this USB microphone is the Rode PodMic USB, and it's connected to my Mac Mini as well. And I am recording the audio into Descript as well. And that's going to be the audio for the live stream too. And just to do a little bit of behind the scenes, here is how it looks. Pretty sweet. And here is the background. I just am in love with this. And don't worry if you didn't catch any of that. I added all of the links to the equipment I'm using for this video in the description. And I also added other resources that you don't want to miss out. So when you are done, you can go and check those links. So now let's talk about planning. It's very important that you plan your live streams. It's very important that you test all the tech. It's very important that you do some tests with the software that you're going to be using. In this case, ECAMM Live. It's also very important that you are very familiar with the topic and that you have an outline or a script that you will follow during your live streams so you're not lost. I've had that experience myself. I just start talking about things that are not even relevant to the live stream. And you don't want to lose people and you don't want to make people waste their time. So be prepared, test everything, test the equipment and the solution that you will be using, and then you will have the confidence that everything is going to go well. If you're going to interview guests, which you can do using ECAMM Live, that's another cool feature about ECAMM Live. Make sure that you send your guest instructions about what to expect. Also, before you go live, make sure that you spend some time trying to help your guests to look their best, just trying to help them with the lighting, with the frame composition and all that stuff. So all of you look very good, Let's go inside ECAMM Live and set everything up, shall we? Okay, so we are here inside ECAMM Live, and don't get scared or intimidated by any of this. If I was able to handle all this, you can handle it too. Let me explain to you. So here on ECAMM Live, if you click on it, then we have profiles, scenes, and we also have overlays. When we talk about profiles, the profile is the entire screen, or let's call it a project. When we talk about scenes, it's pretty much what your audience will see when you go live. For example, I want my live stream to maybe have an image and a countdown. So when people tune into my live stream, if they tune in early, they see when the live stream is going to start. So I can add that. That can be scene 1. Then scene 2 can be a little intro pre-recorded video that I decide to add. Then the next scene can be me welcoming people to the live stream and starting to record the podcast, maybe just, talk about the UVP for your podcast, who your podcast is for, what the episode is going to be about. And then there can be another scene where you introduce your guest and then you proceed with the interview. I forgot to tell you that recording your podcast live is the best thing you can do as far as making content, because you will be recording audio and you will be recording video, and those two can be distributed to different platforms. After you're done with the live, you may decide that you don't want to publish it on YouTube, that you just want to download those files and send those to an editor so they can cut things out of the live stream. Like, for example, when you're done recording your video podcast, let's say that you and your guests just stay there answering questions. You may want to take that part out and just leave the episode, and that way you can repost this episode that you recorded live on your YouTube channel, and it will be optimized and it will have a thumbnail and all of that stuff. It's great because you will have that content, and also it's great because you will be connecting with your community, your subscribers on YouTube, your audience, because after you record the episode and you can give them instructions and say, so I'm just going to go ahead and start recording the episode, and once I'm done recording the episode or interviewing my guest, then I'm going to be here for you if you have questions for me or my guest. And after a while of you doing this every week, then they will get used to you having this format. And then after your interview, you just hang out with your people. Like, how cool is that? And then the other thing is, like, if you overthink things, if you are like me, that, oh, I didn't say that perfect, I have to do it again, so I'm gonna, press like stop and press record again, and hopefully it goes better this time, and you just have like 100 takes, and then you're not happy with anything. When you are live, cariño, you just have to do it. You just have to, go for it. And whatever comes out of your mouth is the right thing to say. So I challenge you to do that. So going back to ECAMM Live, here is let's create a group for my scenes and my overlays. So this scene, I'm going to call Content Jefe. Under Content Jefe, then I'm going to add the first scene. And that first scene is going to be the countdown. So how do I change this scene? Because so far it's just me in the video. So what we want to do is that we want to go to source and then we want to make it blank. And because we made it blank, then now we can add things to, it's kind of like a canvas. Then this overlay right here, this is the overlay window. Here is where we're going to add our graphics, where we're going to add our slides. I mean, you can host webinars using ECAMM Live. You can add all sorts of things. So let's start with adding an image. And I want to go to downloads. On Canva, I already created a few images. I created overlays, these 3 overlays, and I also created an image for my countdown. This is something that you can do as well. You can use Canva or any other solution for graphic design and create graphics for your live stream. So this is where I created all my assets to add to ECAMM Live for my live stream. So let's add this image, and here it is. Now, how do we add the countdown? So here on overlays, you can see these numbers. Then we click on these numbers and we see the countdown, and we can tell ECAMM Live that after the countdown, we can go to the next scene when it's done, which is going to be whatever I determine to be the next scene is going to be. But at the moment, I'm not going to have it do anything. And the good thing is that you're not stuck with this design. So you want to go inside this little pencil right here, and this will allow you to edit different things. Like, let's say that we want to change the color of our countdown and we want to make it brown, or we want to make it black again, or let's say that you just want to pick up a color from here. Let's say this, maybe this red color. How cool. So let's just leave it red. And besides changing the color, if you click on this pencil right here and you click on edit countdown, then you can change the font. You can change whether you want to shadow the color of the text. If you want to make it a different color, let's say I want it black. And then after that, then we can make it bigger or smaller. There's a lot of things that you can do to the countdown. I didn't like it. I'm going to change it back to black, and that's it. This is my countdown. The next scene that I want is the Content Jefe pre-recorded intro. So for this, we want to once again add a new scene, and then let's say CJ Content Jefe intro, and we name it. Click enter. And then we click on source, and then we want to, once again, instead of being on camera, which it will be me right here, then we want to upload a video file. And then we click on this arrow right here by video file, and then we click on choose file, and then it will take us to where we have our video file stored on our computer. And then we click on the file, and then we say open, and here's a Content Jefe. Pretty cool, right? So now when I go here to my countdown and I click on edit countdown, then here I'm going to tell it to go to next scene when finished. So what it's going to do is that when the countdown comes to 0, then it's going to go directly into the Content Jefe intro. How cool is that? Then I want to add another scene, and that one is going to be me. And here I am. So I'm going to name it Vero Solo. So that's going to be my scene. And if I want to make changes to the video, something that I always change is that I want my video to mirror me, because it trips me. Like, my brain doesn't like it when the shot is not mirroring me. So I can just go here on camera effects. So let's say that this wasn't here. So how do I get to camera effects? Well, I click on the video, and then I'll click here on this little one. It looks like a wand. And then you click on it. And then I look for my camera. It says camera A, but my camera is the Cam Link 4K. And here I can start changing things. I can change the brightness, make it brighter. I can change the temperature a little bit. So then I can also play with the tint as well. I'm just going to leave it here. The saturation, less saturation, more saturation. And then I click here on mirroring and you see what's going to happen. So now if you look at here to our scenes, say how they change the order. So now I have the countdown, and then after the countdown, then I have the scene of me solo, but I don't want that. I want the pre-recorded intro for my podcast. So the only thing I have to do is to drag this and put it right there where it belongs. And ta-da, now everything is in order. So now let's add another scene. And this one is going to be Vero and guest. And this one is going to allow me to have a guest. I will be able to interview a guest here on my podcast live. We also want to add the overlays for my solo shot, and I forgot to do that. When you're going to add your overlay, make sure that you click on the scene that you want the overlay to go. I can do that right now. Let's do that. So I'll say image. And then I'm going to bring, this is the overlay for my solo shot. And then here it is. Notice that right here, it has the Content Jefe logo and it has my name right here. And a way that you can see how it's going to look, you go here to Windows and then you click on Hide Main Window Controls. And then that way you get to see how you're going to look, or how your overlay is going to look. So pretty cool, right? We have our overlay. So now we need an overlay for our guest. So what we do is that we go to source and then we click on blank. And then after we click on blank, then we bring the overlay by clicking on this image right here, new image overlay. And then we bring our overlay and here it is. And now we just have to add the video to this overlay. And for that, we go to overlays and we click on this icon right here, this little camera. And then here I am. Now we want to adjust our video to the frame of the overlay so it doesn't look caca. And what we do for this is that we click here on this little pencil. That's the edit button. And then we come here and we say shape. Notice that you can do different shapes. You can do a circle. You can do a squircle. You can do a classic. But what we want to do is to have it to be custom, because that way it will allow me to adjust it the way I want. Then if we click on edit again, if you see the corners, there are two round for my overlay and I want them to be more pointy. So I just slide this little bar that says corner radius and it makes it more pointy. So how in the Señor de los Santos Cielos you will bring the video from your guest? Right here you may be wondering, well, that's another overlay that you will add to your scene. Once again, you click here on the camera button.
Oh, we have 3 Veronicas, 4 Veronicas. Too many Veronicas.
And then we want to send this video all the way to the back. So we drag the overlay and we put it on top of both shots. And look at that. So now that we got to this point, how do I introduce my guest? How do I bring him in? So the way that we do it is that we introduce the camera switcher feature of ECAMM Live. And we click on it. It's this right here in the right upper corner with the 4 squares. If you are recording with different cameras, you have different camera angles and you want to switch between the camera angles. The way that we do it is that we come here to the editing button on the right side of the screen where it says Hugh Jackman, because I'm interviewing Hugh Jackman. And we switch it to guest 1. It's going to go dark because right now we don't have our guest here, but he will be joining. Hugh Jackman will be joining soon. And then we want to go here to the overlays and maybe change this for his name. Instead of guest one, we can say, Hugh Jackman. The other thing, like it occurred to me that I want to have a scene where it's just the guest talking. So it would be Hugh solo. Once again, we want to do blank here in overlays for this scene. We bring the solo overlay, and then let's bring his camera too. This is how we bring the camera. And very important here, we want to switch the camera. We don't want our camera, we want our guest camera. Yeah, we can edit and add our guest yet because we need to add it to this scene. And here we have guest one. Go back here to our video, and then instead of can link, now we are going to do guest one, and I think we are ready to go live. So how do we go live? So we created our profile. Our profile is, let's say, our whole episode template. And then under the profile, then we create scenes. The first scene is the countdown. The second scene is the Content Jefe pre-recorded intro. Then the scene after that is me solo, which I'm going to be introducing the podcast and also the episode. Then I have the following scene, which is me and my guest. I'm going to be introducing the guest and asking the questions. And I can go back and forth between his scene, his solo scene, and my scene. So now that all of that is ready and set up, let's click on new. This is how we schedule the live stream. And we can say best practices to record video podcast live. And then a little description. Join Veronica as she records her first Content Jefe episode live. And that's it. We're going to make the visibility public. Here are all of your destinations or the places that you're going to go live. You can go live to multiple platforms. You can go live on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. But for now, we're just going to go live on the Content Jefe podcast. And then we can decide to go live now or not schedule the live, or we can schedule the live so it starts very soon. And we're going to need a thumbnail, which I forgot. So let's just make one very quick. It can be this same thumbnail, really. I'm just going to grab this one for the sake of time and download this thumbnail. Then we add image, and here's the thumbnail. And then we're going to go live in 5 minutes. Let's give ourselves a few more minutes. 47 schedule. Here it is. So now that everything is set up for us to go live, another thing that we want to do before we press the go live button is to check the audio and the video. And then for that, we click on ECAMM Live and then preferences. And then we click on recording. And then we just want to make sure that we get to set up the audio and the video. So here the primary mic for the audio. If we want to record the audio in different tracks, then we come here and we click on this little box that we want the audio to be recorded separately. And then the camera be the same microphone. So we can change the source of the speakers. It can be the Rode pod mic if I have headphones connected to the pod mic, or it can be just the default, which is my Mac mini speakers. And that's it. So we are ready to go live. This is the Content Jefe channel, and here's our live. And I'm going to go live pretty soon. So I'm going to bring my guest, and to bring my guest, then I just have to click here on this button. And then here on this window, if we hover over the link, then we say copy link. And then we click on it and we copy the link, and we can text that link to our guest. And I'll wait for our guest to join. So here's my guest. Let's click on this green button and welcome our guest. Hello.
Hello.
So now that we have our guest here, what we want to do is to assign his camera to the scene that we created with the side by side, me on the left and my guest on the right. So we click on the scene and then we click on the edit button on his camera, and then we click on video source, and then we find his name, Hugh Jackman, and we click on Hugh Jackman, and he is part of this scene too. And we want to do the same for his solo scene. So I click on go live, and we are live. And so right now what is showing is the countdown. But let me just edit the countdown so it's not, like forever. I'm just going to do it 1 minute.
I could see it's still playing.
Stop it. Like, this isn't easy.
I know.
He's making fun of me. But jokes on him, because this is going to turn to be a wonderful, wonderful episode. So like I mentioned earlier in this video, that this is a good time for you to warm up with your guest. You're going to need maybe, thumbnail pictures for this. So you just want to have them to do some YouTube thumbnail poses. Or, if they're like, this one showed up like bragging about his... Oh, people can hear us because I didn't mute myself. And
Podcast School presents Content Heavy, the podcast that helps online business owners make better content and more money. Let's Hefe up.
Hey there, welcome to Content Jefe. We are recording live using ECAMM Live. This is my first time doing this. And as you heard, maybe while you were watching the countdown, it's turning into a little bit of a shit show. But there's always a first time for everything, and we can't have it all perfect. And, if we wait for things to be perfect, then we'll never do anything because we can't be perfect at everything. I'm excited to record this little episode. I'm going to bring you somebody who's dear to my heart.
Hey, yeah, sorry for the confusion. It's actually Huge Jackman, but people do get me.
Than life.
Yes, they do get me mixed up all the time. But Hugh Jackman actually is my father, and so he had me very young.
So what we are doing here is really cool because we are testing ECAMM Live. You can interview people just the same way you use Squadcast, just the same way you use Riverside FM. You can use ECAMM Live to interview guests remotely. And I like it a lot because it's a little bit more customizable because you can create your overlays on Canva or any other graphic design tool and bring that into ECAMM Live and make it look like branded. And that's something that you can't do with Riverside FM. So the experience so far has been wonderful. I really like ECAMM Live. We're going to go see how that live turned out to be. I'm going to let you go and just keep showing the process of what happens next.
Well, I'll have to say this is kind of fun. It makes me want to do one of these.
Yeah.
Live for real. So if you ever want to have me on your show legitimately as not just a test guinea pig, and it's actually not spelled with an H. There's an E at the end of it. Huge Jackman.
Oh, okay. You can email my producer and see when we can get you in. Bye.
Are you going to kick me out then? You kick me out of the show, right? Okay. I'm going to press the hang up button.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Bye. And he is gone, and now it's just me. Let's just go back to my scene. Here's my scene. And thank you for the two souls who are watching me go live on this channel. Maybe I will keep recording my episodes this way because it's pretty fun. I'm just going to end, and then we click on end broadcast. You can go and find the files for your live stream. You can send it to Descript. When you click send to Descript, then this pop-up will come up and it says edit in Descript. You can click on this button and then ECAMM will send the live stream to Descript for you to edit there. Create a project and import files. Yes, we'll click on create a project and import files. And here it is. Project from ECAMM Live, or we can just go here. These are the files for this live stream that I can download and edit or send to my editor. That was a lot of fun. Like, you saw me making a lot of mistakes and you saw me doing different things here on ECAMM Live. I would recommend you to use this solution if you want to record your podcast live. Everything went smoothly. Like I said, You can customize your live streams. You can customize what people see on your live streams, which is pretty cool in my opinion. If you are interested to learn more about video podcasting, there are different ways to record your video podcast, like I already mentioned, and we cover pretty much all of them in this playlist right here. And you can click on this playlist and you can learn a lot more about the equipment that we use, different strategies that we use to record our video podcast. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe. I have more videos coming down the pipeline. And like and share this video. I know that those are like too many CTAs, too many calls to actions, but whatever. Just do one thing. Just do one thing. Thank you. And I will see you in the next video.